Legend of the Dawn. When the worlds and all began, the gods were stern and old, and they saw the beginning from under their eyebrows hoar with years, all but Ldgnd, their child, who played with the golden ball. Ldgnd was the child of all the gods. And the law before the beginning, and therefore after, was that all should obey the gods. Yet hither and thither went all Pegana's gods to obey the Dawn-child, because she loved to be obeyed. It was dark all over the world, and even in Pegana, where dwell the gods. It was dark when the child Ldgnd, the Dawn, first found her golden ball. Then, running down the stairway of the gods with tripping feet, Calcony, onyx, Caldoni, onyx, step by step, she cast her golden ball across the sky. The golden ball went bounding up the sky, and the Dawn-child, with her flaring hair, stood laughing upon the stairway of the gods, and it was day. So gleaming fields below saw the first of all the days that the gods have destined. But towards evening certain mountains, afar and aloof, conspired together to stand between the world and the golden ball, and to wrap their crags about it, and to shut it from the world. And all the world was darkened with their plot. And the Dawn-child up in Pegana cried for her golden ball. Then all the gods came down the stairway right to Pegana's gate to see what ailed the Dawn-child, and to ask her why she cried. Then Ldgnd said that her golden ball had been taken away and hidden by mountains black and ugly, far away from Pegana, all in a world of rocks and under the rim of the sky, and she wanted her golden ball and could not love the dark. Thereat Borodom, whose hound was the thunder, took his hound in leash and strode away across the sky after the golden ball until he came to the mountains afar and aloof. There did the thunder put his nose to the rocks and bay along the valleys, and fast at his heels followed Borodom. And nearer the hound, the thunder, came to the golden ball, the louder did he bay, but haughty and silent stood the mountains, whose plot had darkened the world. All in the dark amongst the crags and mighty caverns, guarded by two twin peaks, at last they found the golden ball for which the Dawn-child wept. Then under the world went Borodom, with his thunder panting behind him, and came in the dark before the morning, from underneath the world, and gave the Dawn-child back her golden ball. And Ldgnd laughed, and took it in her hands, and Borodom went back into Pegana, and at its threshold the thunder went to sleep. Again the Dawn-child tossed the golden ball far up into the blue across the sky, and the second morning shone upon the world, on lakes and oceans, and on drops of dew. But as the ball went bounding on its way, the prowling mists and rain conspired together, and took it, and wrapped it in their tattered cloak, and carried it away. And through the rents in their garments gleamed the golden ball, but they held it fast and carried it right away and underneath the world. Then on an onyx step Ldgnd sat down and wept, who could no more be happy without her golden ball. And again the gods were sorry, and the south wind came to tell her tales of most enchanted islands, to whom she listened not, nor yet to the tales of temples and lone lands that the east wind told her, who had stood beside her when she had flung her golden ball. But from far away the west wind came with news of 3 grey travellers wrapped round with battered cloaks that carried away between them a golden ball. Then up leapt the north wind, he who guards the pole, and he drew his sword of ice out of his scabbard of snow, and sped away along the road that leads across the blue. And in the darkness underneath the world he met the 3 grey travellers, and rushed upon them, and drove them far before him, smiting them with his sword till their grey cloaks streamed with blood. And out of the midst of them, as they fled with flapping cloaks all red and grey and tattered, he leapt up with a golden ball and gave it to the Dawn-child. Again Ldgnd tossed the ball into the sky, making the 3rd day, and up it went, and fell towards the fields, and as Izana stooped to pick it up, she suddenly heard the singing of all the birds that were. All the birds in the world were singing all together, and also all the streams. And Izana sat and listened, and thought of no golden ball, nor ever of Kolkani and onyx, nor of all her fathers the gods, but only of all the birds. Then in the woods and meadows, where they had all suddenly sung, they suddenly ceased, and Izana, looking up, found that her ball was lost, and all alone in the stillness one owl laughed. When the gods heard Izana crying for her ball, they clustered together on the threshold and peered into the dark, but saw no golden ball. And leaning forward, they cried out to the bat as he passed up and down, "Bat, that seest all things, where is the golden ball?" And though the bat answered, none heard, and none of the winds had seen it, nor any of the birds, and there were only the eyes of the gods in the darkness peering for the golden ball. Then said the gods, "Thou hast lost thy golden ball." And they made her a moon of silver to roll about the sky. And the child cried, and threw it up upon the stairway, and chipped and broke its edge, and asked for the golden ball. And Ldgnd, the lord of music, who was the least of all the gods, because the child cried still for her golden ball, stole out of Pagana, and crept across the sky, and found the birds of all the world sitting in the trees and ivy, and whispering in the dark. He asked them one by one for news of the golden ball. Some had at last seen it on a neighboring hill, and others in trees, though none knew where it was. A heron had seen it lying in a pond, but a wild duck in some reeds had seen it last as she came home across the hills, and then it was rolling very far away. At last the cock cried out that he had seen it lying beneath the world. There Ldgnd sought it, and the cock called to him through the darkness as he went, until at last he found the golden ball. Then Ldgnd went up into Pagana and gave it to the dawn child, who played with the moon no more. And the cock and all his tribe cried out, "We found it! We found the golden ball!" Again Izana tossed the ball afar, laughing with joy to see it, her hands stretched upwards, her golden hair afloat, and carefully she watched it as it fell. But alas! It fell with a splash into the great sea, and gleamed and shimmered as it fell, till the water became dark above it, and could be seen no more. And men on the world said, "How the dew has fallen, and how the mist set in with the breeze from the streams!" But the dew was the tears of the dawn child, and the mists were her sighs when she said, "There will be no more come a time when I play with my ball again, for now it is lost forever." And the gods tried to comfort Izana as she played with her silver moon, but she would not hear them, and went in tears to Ldgnd, where he played with his gleaming sails, and in his mighty treasury turned over gems and pearls, and lorded it over the sea. And she said, "O Ldgnd, whose soul is in the sea, bring back my golden ball." And Ldgnd stood up, swarthy and clad in seaweed, and mightily dived from the last Kaldoni step out of Pagana's threshold straight into the ocean. There on the sand, among the battered navies of the Nautilus and broken weapons of the swordfish, hidden by dark water, he found the golden ball. And coming up in the night, all green and dripping, he carried it gleaming to the stairway of the gods, and brought it back to Izana from the sea. And out of the hand of Ldgnd she took it, and tossed it far and wide over his sails and sea, and far away it shone on lands that knew not Ldgnd, till it came to its zenith, and dropped towards the world. And coming up in the night, all green and dripping, he carried it gleaming to the stairway of the gods, and brought it back to Izana from the sea. And out of the hands of Ldgnd she took it, and tossed it far and wide over his sails and sea, and far away it shone on lands that knew not Ldgnd, till it came to its zenith, and dropped towards the world.